And the 90 days recruiting challenge starts immediately after being inducted in the Millionaire School. This is actually a platform and a structure that we have created to help you prepare to earning a minimum of 1 million naira within 6 months. Our goal for you is to earn a minimum of 1 million naira within 6 months. Are there people that have earned more than 1 million within 6 months? Yes. Are there people that after that 6 months, they earned less than 1 million naira? Yes. Are there people that have earned exactly 1 million thereabout? Yes. But there is one thing we've seen clearly. Anyone that does not attempt the 90 days recruiting challenge with everything he or she got, they seldom succeed. Yes. Why? It's not just about a challenge. It's about setting goals and achieving goals. Success is about setting goals and achieving goals. You don't just start a business and expect your business to grow, mature, pay you, expand. No, you must grow according to the goals that you have set for yourself. And every goal you set for yourself is meant to grow you. If you set a goal and that goal does not develop you, does not demand growth from you, then that goal is a small goal. All right. So the 90 days recruiting challenge is more than just a challenge. It is a structure in RDI that anybody that gets to be inducted into the Millionaire School start to running it. We kicked off this project. The first time we started it was on the June 8th. And from June 8th till now, we've seen people earning in hundreds of thousands. Okay? July, August, September, October. This is 4 months now. Now, this project has launched a lot of people that we are not able to earn even 20,000 naira in a month. Now they are earning in hundreds of thousands consistently every month as a result of this project. Now, we're going to actually listen to a training from one of our mentors, Matt Morris. All right. So we're going to get to see the magic number of 30. Okay. The magic number of 30. If I have much time, we're going to be watching, listening to 2 trainings from him, okay, as regards to this 30 days recruiting challenge. I think the first one I'm going to play for us is the law of compressed activity. So first we say, sir, 30 people to recruit 30 in 90 days. Is it not too much? Just relax. Okay. I want us to listen to the law of compressed activity. Then after that, we're going to listen to the magic number of 30, 2 trainings this morning. All right. So let's pay attention as we listen. Please, I believe you should have your Millionaire School notes with you. If you don't have your Millionaire School notes with you, I believe you need.
Okay, module, we're going to be talking about the law of
started already.
Activity. Now, after 20 years.
I believe that you didn't come for Millionaire School. If you're not here with your Millionaire School notebook, please, if you're on video, can I see your Millionaire School notebooks quickly? All of you, can I see your Millionaire School notebooks? Raise it up, let us see. It must be a thick cover notebook. The first section of it is where you write more than 300 contacts and you keep updating. The next portion, 30 to 40 leaves, is where you write and jot the things you are learning. All right. God bless you, each and every one of you that are following our instructions properly. So let's listen to the magic number of 30. Sorry, the law of compressed activity is just 8 minutes and some seconds. Then after that, we'll listen to the magic number of 30. Why is recruiting 30 people very, very important? All right. So let's look at the law of compressed activity. Make sure you are jotting because we want to contribute and then share our lessons afterwards.
Okay, in this module, we're going to be talking about the law of compressed activity. Now, after 20 years of being involved in network marketing, and as I record this, building organizations of now over 700,000 people around the world, this is an irrefutable network marketing law that I think I invented. I don't ever remember hearing anyone talking about the law of compressed activity. And it is something that I really want you to get. It's something I really want you to understand. And the law of compressed activity says that the effort that you put in a short amount of time, in a compressed amount of time, is going to pay you way, 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 way more money than the same amount of effort put in over an extended period of time.
Exactly.
And so we could talk about this being and going out enrolling 30 people. If you enroll 30 people within a 90-day time frame, that is going to earn you significantly more money long-term than enrolling 30 people over the course of a year. Now, why is that the case? That is the case because...
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? If you recruit 30 persons, now listen, if you recruit 30 persons in 90 days, it will pay you more, not just now, but over a long period of time than when you recruit 30 persons over a longer period of time. So let's assume you recruited 30 persons in 90 days, and then compared to someone that recruited 30 persons in 1 year, the person that was able to recruit 30 persons in 90 days will earn more money and will have his or her business well sustained, much more than the person that recruits 30 in a space of 1 year. That is why immediately you join the business, when you focus on this 90 days recruiting challenge, it's a strong foundation for massive earning for you in the business. I just needed to buttress on that point so that we can continue watching the video. It's a very short video anyway.
That's the case. That is the case because here, long-term, than you significantly more money long-term than enrolling 30 people over the course of a year. Now, why is that the case? That is the case because this business, it's all about the speed of the group is determined by the speed of the leader.
Really that.
Now, what happens is you end up setting the bar at whatever you're personally producing at. So if you've gone out and you've enrolled 30 people in 90 days, then guess what? Your team, you've set the bar at 30 in 90 days. And so what your team is likely to do is to see, all right, well, it's possible to go do that. And they end up doing a little bit less. Now, within my current organization, several 100,000 people, I looked at my sponsorship report a while back, and what was interesting is that in my entire organization, there was only one other person or one other distributorship that had personally enrolled more than me, and it was a partnership with 3 people. And that was the only one. Now, out of hundreds of thousands of people, listen, it's not that I know the most people. It's not that I'm the best or anything like that. But what happens is you set the bar. So if you've gone out and enrolled 50 people, then your team is going to enroll 50 people. And so that's part of the law of compressed activity. It's what you do quickly. What that does is it fuels the belief. It fuels the motivation. It shows people what's possible. Versus if you put in 30 over the course of a year, that's, a few a month. There's nothing wrong with that. If you do that consistently over time, if you enroll 30 people a year, year after year, I believe you're going to end up making it really big long term. You're just not going to get there as fast, and you're probably not going to end up building as big of an organization long term as if you put in those 30 people within a 90-day time frame or within a month. Now, that is just the nature of the beast. And so the law of compressed activity, I want you to keep that in mind. And this is another thing that we've seen to be true. Now, there is some magic in 30, and in the next module, I'm going to cover the magic of 30. But when I have seen the best results over the years, it's when I've sponsored in coveys. I've either put in, 20, 30 people pretty fast within a 1 to 3 month time frame. And that creates so much chaos. It creates so much activity. Then, it just builds really fast. So I've either done that, or what also works is if you sponsor in coveys. And so that's sponsoring, 6 people in a 2-week time frame, sponsoring, 4, 5, 6, 7 people real quick. And when you put in a bunch of people in a short amount of time, here's part of the reason why I believe it works. And, I can philosophize all day with you. I'm telling you this not because of philosophy. I don't train and I don't tell you to go do things because of philosophy. I tell you based on 20 years of experience. And then I try and give you the philosophy of the psychology to back it up, because that is psychology and human nature. It's something I've studied. Probably the only thing I've studied as much as network marketing is how the human mind works, psychology and all that. And what happens is when you sponsor in coveys, you put in 6, 7 people real fast, then it creates, number one, they see you put in a lot of people real quick, so they believe it's possible to put in several people real quick. But it also creates a bit of competition between, those 6 people. and you can kind of introduce them to each other. They're just getting started at the same time, and they see, one of the 6 goes out and enrolls 3 people in a week. And, you're telling the other, you're kind of showing the other 5 or so that, hey, this person went out and did 3. And that competition, kind of kicks in. And it spurs them to go out and do more than they would otherwise. And see, if you're enrolling, 1, 2 a month, and that's all they see, they don't really see that it's possible. And mark my words, momentum in network marketing is all about belief. We're going to cover that even more in the next week's modules, but momentum is created through belief, and you give your people belief based on what you do. And if they don't see you producing, they don't produce. That's the bottom line. And there's a question that I think I've covered throughout Millionaire School, and I'll reiterate it again here, but you have got to, on a monthly basis, you have got to look at what you have done personally. And if at the end of the month and you look back, and if you have not personally enrolled enough people, or if a better way to put it would probably be this: you got to look at your group and say, what I did in the last month, would I want everyone in my organization doing what I did last month? Would you want everyone in your organization personally producing at the level that you did last month? And if the answer is no, you obviously have got to start personally producing. And it's one of the reasons why now, even though I've got, at the time I'm recording this, over 250,000 active members on my team paying their monthly dues for our product, even though I have an organization that big, it's growing with or without me. At this point, I could go into retirement. This month, it's the 9th of the month, I've already personally sponsored 2 people. Now, why am I continually sponsoring these people? I'm doing it because I never want to get into management mode. I don't want to, just go off into the sunset, because guess what? My other leaders do. They go off into the sunset. And so, if I
did you hear that? This man has over 250,000 active members, and he's still recruiting. Over 230,000 or 250,000 members, and he's still recruiting. Can you imagine? And yet, some of us, how many members do we have? We're already sitting down, thinking about working on our members to work, our members to produce, our members to do that one. There is a question he asked. He said we should always ask ourselves. And that's the question that I always ask myself. That keeps me going. Some of you have been private chatting me. Where do I get the energy I use in working? Let me tell you, it's very, 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 very simple. I ask myself this simple question. If everybody in my team puts in the same level of effort I put in, how would my business look like? Now you can answer that for yourself. If everybody in your business invites as you are inviting, what would your business look like? If everybody in your team recruits the way you are recruiting, meaning that if you didn't recruit anybody at all, it's very simple. It means that, assuming nobody recruited, assuming nothing happens in your team, you earn nothing. I always warn people, I say, beware of demanding from people what you have not done yourself. Beware of it. Demanding from people what you haven't done yourself. Let's finish up with the video quickly so we can listen to the magic number of 30.
Got other $1 million a year earners on my team. I don't want them retiring because what happens is if I retire, the other $1 million a year earners on my team retire. If they retire, guess what happens? The people making several $100,000 a year, they retire too. And guess what happens? The people making 100,000 retire. The people making 50,000 retire, and everyone gets complacent. And so you have got to be continually personally producing. And here's what a mentor of mine told me early on, and I just took this to be true. I believed in everything that he trained me, and he said, you have got to keep personally producing until you're at an income that you just want to retire at. Now, personally, I want to make more than I'm doing right now. I just feel like, I want a private jet. If other people deserve to have private jets, you know what? Why not me? And I think that has to be your attitude. If someone else is making $1 million a year, you deserve it too. Someone else deserves to fly first class, so do you. Someone else deserves to stay in penthouse suites, so do you. If someone else is sending their kids to the best schools money can buy, so do you. If other people get to live a life with no limits, so do you.
How many of us learned something in this model? How many of us learned something in this model? The law of compressed activity. Let me see, wave your hand. Do you see the reason why we charge you? Do you see the reason why we keep inspiring you? Okay, now I want us to get to the next model, which is the magic number of 30. What is it about 30? The magic number of 30. Let's listen to this model, magic number of 30.
Okay, welcome back. We're going to be talking about the magic.
This one is also 8 minutes and some seconds. Then after that, we now get into discussing our own 90 days recruiting challenge. So let's listen to the training model, the magic number of 30.
Of 30. And when I say the magic of 30, what I mean is going out and... Okay, welcome back. We're going to be talking about the magic of 30. And when I say the magic of 30, what I mean is going out and personally recruiting 30 people fast. And consider this a challenge from me to you, is for you to go out and put in 30 people. And from my experience, if you really want to create momentum within your group, you need to put those 30 in the business within a 90-day time frame. So that's 10 personals a month. Obviously, very, very doable for anyone who really, really gets serious, especially with the knowledge that you've gotten in Millionaire School on prospecting, on inviting, on presenting, on closing. There is absolutely no reason why you can't go out and sponsor 10 people a month over the next 3 months. Now, if you want to supercharge your results, you can do a little bit more. Now, it's been true for me. Every time I've created huge momentum, it's because I've put in a lot of people fast. We talked in the last module about the law of compressed activity, but there is just some magic in the law of 30 and putting in 30 people fast. Now, this is what my mentor said with me. He said, years ago, this is when I was not earning, had never earned a six-figure income. And he said, if you go put in 30 fast, then that'll turn into thousands. 30 will turn into thousands if you put in 30 fast. Now, he actually didn't say, he didn't specify a time frame, and me not being overly analytical, for me, I just thought as fast as possible. I got to do it within 1 month. And I don't know how I did it, but I ended up putting in 30 personals in 1 month. So in case you're wondering, like, if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't know if I could do that. Listen, when I put in 30 personals in 1 month, I was 24 years old, had been working as a waiter at a steakhouse. I was $30,000 in debt. I was living at home with my mom. I had nothing going on for me. I had never had any success, tangible success in network marketing. I didn't have a group to bring over, nothing like that. I just decided enough was enough. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm going to go after it. And here's how the numbers have worked out for me then. It's how the numbers have worked out for me ever since. And it's how I typically always see the numbers. And this is probably why I don't know why the magic isn't 30, but if you look at it like this, out of every 30 personals that you put in, if you go back to the last couple modules ago when we talked about out of every 10, you end up getting about 2. And from what I've seen and the way most network marketing companies design their compensation plans, you're going to need anywhere between 3 and 6 leaders, 3 and 6 people in different, lines of lineage or different lines of sponsorship, different organizations. You're going to need anywhere from 3 to 6. And so out of 30, if you're getting 2 out of every 10 that you put in, then you put in 30, obviously you end up getting 6. And so, my suggestion is you obviously put them in super fast. You can do it over a longer time frame. But again, the law of compressed activity doesn't take effect, and you're going to make a lot less money long term. And so here's what I heard someone say one time is, when you die and at the funeral, how many people carry your casket? You got 3 on each side. You got 6 people to carry your casket. So here's the reality. If you can find 6 when you're dead, you can find 6 when you're alive. So let's carry this out a little bit more, and let's talk about, what you would have to do from a closing ratio. If you're going to put in 30 fast, then what? And let's say your closing ratio is 1 out of every 5 people that you show. Then, you do 150 exposures, you enroll 30 people. And so most people look at that 30 and it's like, all right, I'm going to go after the 30. I'm going to go after the 30, but they don't look at how many people end up saying no.
Exactly.
If you close 1 out of 5. So you're going to have 120 people tell you no. And I'll tell you the main reason why people, and even you, this is the biggest reason why you probably will not go out and enroll 30 people. It's not because you have a challenge finding 30 people who will say yes. There's 30 people out there. The challenge is you're afraid of the 120 people who say no
to you.
And the reality is the biggest fear in the world is the fear of rejection. It's not the fear of public speaking. The fear of public speaking, again, that's just the fear of being rejected publicly. It is a rejection. If you think about, going out and asking someone on a date or something like that, it's that rejection that holds you back. And so you've got to get over that. And something that we talked about in the closing module, it's something that if you didn't write this down, write it down again. Here's one of the secrets. When you stop being afraid of people saying no, they start saying yes.
Yes.
And so hopefully you're going to do a lot better than enrolling 1 out of every 5 people that you show. If you get good at this, you should be able to enroll 1 out of every 3, maybe even 1 out of every 2, depending on your product and price points and so forth. But worst case scenario, let's say you enroll 1 out of 5. And if you're not enrolling 1 out of 5, you really don't need to worry so much about the scripts that you're saying. I just had someone message me the other day and they said, I've been using your contacting scripts, and I've said this and I've said this and I've said this, and I did it with 50 people and no one gave me their number. And I promise you the scripts work. I've used them. I've had massive teams use them. They work without a doubt. If you're not having the results, you've got to go back to week number 1 and you got to work on you. See, the law of the lid is always in effect. Your success is never going to grow beyond who you are as a person. And so worst case scenario, you should be at 1 out of every 5. So you're getting 120 no's. And because people try and avoid the no's, that's why they don't get the yeses. And so the false belief in network marketing and in life period is that you're going to go have success in life, but you're going to avoid failure. You're going to avoid rejection at all costs. So imagine where you're sitting right now, where you're standing. If you got, rejection or failure on your left side and you got success on your right side, well, naturally people want to turn to the right and only go towards success. But the reality is they're not on 2 sides. It's right in front of you. But what's in front of you is the rejection. And what's beyond the rejection is success. So you've got to be willing to just go through the no's. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is just go for no. Focus on the 120. So instead of focusing on the 30, focus on the 120. Now, if you think I'm crazy, and I even thought when I heard someone talk about this, in fact, there's a great book called Go for No. I would recommend you get that book. In fact, if you are serious, if you're a professional, go get that book, go read that book. But a lot of the basic behind the book is that, people never get the yes because they're afraid of the no. And you might think that if you're going for no, if your goal is to get 120 no's, you're going to get less yeses. Well, what I have found to be the case is you don't get less yeses. You actually end up getting more yeses. Why? Because the fear goes away. And when you stop being afraid of the no's, people start saying yes. And you end up having more posture, you're having more certainty, you have a heightened sense of urgency. And so things just work out better when you go for the no. And again, the faster you recruit, the better the numbers work out. And so put in a lot of people fast. Focus on getting a lot of no's really, really fast.
Wow, 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 wow. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. These trainings we did today, they are just my favorite. They are always my favorite trainings because that is the basics for success in our business. I'm telling you, going for the nose. All right, so let's move straight to discussing our 90 days recruiting challenge. Okay, I love the video we just played right now. Okay, the magic number of 30. The magic number of 30. All right, so how many of you have seen this? How many of you have seen this banner? Let me see you wave your hand. If you have seen this banner, let me see you wave your hand. Then those of you in Alpha Lion team, I was meant to know that your own recruiting challenge is 60. Is 60 challenge, is 60 people per month. Okay. All right. You guys decided to take it up. Okay. The Success Addicto team, we are working with 30 in 90 days. Now, I want to ask whether it is 30 in 90 days or 60 in 90 days. I want you to tell me sincerely, don't lie to me. How many of you, while you are building your business, you have this goal in your mind? How many of you? You have this goal in mind. Let me see with your hand. You can see just very few of you. Majority of you have you have seen the banner, but while you're building your business, you don't have this in view. Let me tell you what a lot of people do, whenever they said go. They will tell themselves some things like, I will recruit 30 persons in 90 days. Do you know the number one thing that shows you are sincere with that goal? The number one thing that shows you are sincere with that goal. Can someone tell me? When you set that goal, or when you see it and say, you know what, I'm going to recruit 30 in 90 days. Can someone tell me what shows that you are sincere with that goal that you've set? Let me see you wave your hand. If you can answer that question correctly. Engineer Henry Ike, you are raising your hand. Can you unmute yourself and answer? What shows that you are sincere with that goal?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, what shows that you're sincere with the goal is the level of your activities. Every day, the level of your activities on the recruitment. You have to, make sure on daily basis, you do what you're supposed to do on daily basis.
I love that. I love that answer. Is in line with the answer to the question. What shows that you are sincere with a goal is, number one, sit down and write down that goal down. It's not good enough to have it in the banner. Even the Bible made it very clear. Write the vision down. Make it plain that he that reads it may do what? May run with it. Now, when you write your goal or your vision down, who is the first person that reads it? I'm asking, Engineer Henry, when you write your goal down, who is the first person that reads it?
You are the person that sees it every morning, every now and then. You are seeing it, and
you are the one that sees it first.
Inspiring you to do.
Now, the Holy Book has given us the solution to achieving goals. That's the number one solution. You write it down. Now, Enan said that he who reads it may do what? May run with it. The question is this: are you running with your goal in mind? The first step is to write it down. Are you running with your goal in mind? And if you don't have a place in your Millionaire School notebook where you write 30 days recruiting challenge, you write you say my first 30 days, and then you are tracking your activities, you are not serious with the goal. I keep teaching us about evaluating our progress, being conscious of your activities, just like Engineer Henry said. Now, the second thing that will show that you are serious about achieving a goal, don't forget this second part, is to do what we call goal metrics. Goal metrics. What is it that I need to do to ensure that this goal is achieved? You must be very exact. It's at the level of goal metrics that you start demanding, you start noticing some areas of your life, some areas of your business, some skill sets that you've not really developed yourself very well in. And then you start working on them. How can you recruit 10 persons in a month, 30 in 90 days, 10 persons every month when you are struggling with prospecting? Ask yourself, how do people come to register into this business? Do you know how they register? What is it that happens for people to register? Do you know what it is? That is what we call the goal metrics. And that is why this banner is very, very important. We don't just have a goal, 90 days recruiting challenge, recruiting 30 in 90 days. We broke it down by telling you what you need to focus on is what? 10 persons every month. So what is the goal metrics? What are the tasks? What are the activities that needs to happen minimally for you to produce this level of results? You and I know so well that nobody comes to register into this business without having to witness our presentation videos, without having to witness the presentation, whether you are doing it one-on-one, whether the person was invited to the Zoom meetings or to a physical seminar, or the person watches our recorded video, the business must be presented to that person before that person gets to register. And before the person gets to witness the presentation, there must be what? Prospecting. So these are the weekly tasks that we have set out. If you are seriously serious with achieving your 90 days recruiting challenge, then you must measure yourself with the weekly tasks we have below. Number one, I ensure 10 persons watch the business videos every week. You must have to week in, week out. At the end of this week, evaluate yourself and ask yourself, how many persons watched the recorded video through me? Number two, I ensure that 10 persons attend a live business meeting, whether it's on Zoom or whether it's a physical seminar, through you. That gives you how many in number now? 20 persons witnessing the presentation. Then number three, I share the business one-on-one with 10 persons. What does it mean to share the business one-on-one? It mustn't be that you are the one talking, but it means that you are sitting one-on-one or with those people and playing our recorded video with them, nodding your head, affirming what is being said in the video, and then at the end of the video, closing on them, getting them to take immediate step. Or if you have been taught on how to present, you can use your slide and then present the business. Every week, you are to ensure that minimally you have 30 persons that gets to witness the business presentation. Every week. Multiply it by 4. How many will it give you? 120 persons. If you are to recruit 10 persons in a month, you should be going for a minimum of 120 persons being exposed to our business presentation videos or attend our live Zoom meetings. I've always thrown the challenge, and I always ask, how many of you here can tell me you have shown our business videos and our people attend the business presentation 220 in 1 month, and you didn't have 10 persons joining you? I want to prove me wrong. If I've done it before, prove me wrong. It's practically impossible. Practically what? Why are we compressing this? You've listened to the video, the law of what? Compressed activity. Why is it so important that you focus on the weekly task? Because that is the only way that people will come to do what? Say yes to the business. It's not good enough to say you are really serious with making the 30 days recruiting challenge a reality. It's not good enough. Focus on the weekly task. Evaluate yourself week in, week out. When you are inviting people and they are not forthcoming, do you know what happens now? You will not studying on how to invite people what? Better and smarter. Now, do you notice what has started happening? It means that the goal that you've set have started inspiring you to acquire and to acquire more skills or to sharpen your already existing what? Skills. When you're playing the video, there was a time that some of us here, we are so depressed, depression nearly caught up with us. Oh, people are coming to the live Zoom meetings, they are watching the recorded videos, but they are not registering. We had to focus and start teaching you how to do what? Close. Demanding for immediate action. I always don't let people off the hook. Don't tell people when you are ready, come. No, 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 no. Tell them the best time is now. And then they started producing what? Results. So if you are inviting people, they are coming, they are watching business videos, they are attending live Zoom meetings, and they are not making commitments. It means there is something, there is a problem with your closing and your follow-up. So what happens? You start sharpening your skills on areas of what? Follow-up and what? Closing. What's happening? Your goal is instructing you on the skills to acquire. Your goals is meant to inspire you to develop yourself. So the 90 days recruiting challenge, as I said before, is the foundation, the platform that we have created to enable you, yes, you that are connected to this business newly, to earn a minimum of ₦1 million within the first 6 months of your business. Now the question is this: are you going to make this goal yours? You know, when we started off this project, we allowed people to set goals for themselves, and we found out that the same way we did yesterday, some of you here for past 3 months, you have not logged into your account. You don't even know the one that is username. You don't even know the one that is password. You don't even know the one that is ID. The same way people will not be, as in people will not log into the account. The same way we have found out that most people, when you tell them set goals, they will not set the goal. They will not set the goal. So we decided to create a corporate goal that anyone that comes to the business, all you need to do is to do what? To fit in, and then you start producing results. But the question is this: just as you can force a horse or a donkey to get to the rivers, and can never force him to drink, same way also, we have done this, put up this structure to help you to earn a minimum of ₦1 million. The question now remains: will you accept this goal as yours? Will you say, I'm going to be taking up on this challenge? I'm going to make it a reality. I'm not going to live to say I have tried. I'm going to live to say I made it happen. I did it. In 90 days, I recruited 30. Would you live 90 days to say you did it? Would you? Those of you that are leaders here, I want to encourage you. Do not get into what we call the management trap. I hope you can hear me. My rising star leaders. Yes, Mommy Olushola Olatunde, I'm calling all of you, the ones I know. Engineer Henry Ike, don't get into management trap. Yes. Mama Makandwala, don't get into management trap. Yes. Sachochi, don't get into management trap. Yes. Daddy Audu Benson, don't get into management trap. Mommy Bosede Areun, don't get into management trap. Mommy Agnes, Mama Keyinde, don't get into management trap. Yes, Barrister Bassi, you are a rising star mentor. I got to know about that recently. Don't get into management trap. What is the management trap? Where you have recruited some people, you are now sitting down. How many persons do you have in your organization? If people that have recruited over 200,000 persons, they have 200,000 persons very active in their team, and they are earning $1 million in a year. Do you know how much is $1 million? That's over almost 600 million naira. If people that have earned such amount of money are still recruiting, what about you? What about you? Always remember this. If your team members will have to act the way you are acting, what will be the fate of your business? What will be the fate of your business? If you're a leader, your primary responsibility is to inspire your members with the results you are producing yourself. Let them know you still have that top notch of recruiting people. You are still at the top. So are you going to accept this goal? How many of you here will accept this 90 days recruiting challenge? Okay, you know what? How many of you, you are new in the team? You are new here in our millionaire school, and this is the first time you are seeing the 90 days recruiting challenge. Let me see wave your hand. If you are new here, and this is the very first time you are seeing this, let me see wave your hand. Okay, please do raise your hand. I know many, all of you that were inducted last time, you haven't seen this before. Let me see wave your hand. Quickly. Let me see wave your hand. Okay, I can see Mommy Bola Otokiti. Okay, Mommy, okay, I can see Mommy Oluwakemi raising their hand. So I want to ask us, Mommy Bola Otokiti, are you ready to accept this goal, this challenge? Are you ready for it?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to accept it?
Yes, sir.
I promise you, if you can take up on this challenge, you will look back after 90 days. I'm telling you, I'm buying me a bottle of wine. It's a promise.
All right, sir.
You will not just earn the money. You will see your team explode. You will see yourself develop skills that you, as an, there's one beautiful thing about this business. When you are producing results and you are developing yourself, you'll be happy. You will know that something is changing in you. All right, thank you so much for that assurance. Mommy Oluwakemi, are you going to be taking up on this challenge? Are you? Will you take up on the challenge?
Yes, sir.
I want you to take
Yes,
it serious.
sir.
Take it serious. Start with getting it to write it down on your Millionaire School notebook. Find a section of your Millionaire School notes where you write down my 90 days recruiting challenge. Do you see what I'm doing now? I'm personalizing
Yes,
it. My 90 days recruiting challenge. It is yours. You must take ownership of it. It is your 90 days recruiting challenge. And you tell yourself, my first 30 days. And then you start writing. Okay, you can create about 3 columns. People that you invited, people that have attended the live Zoom meetings, people that have watched the recorded videos, and then people that have registered. You should be able to track your progress. This 1 week now, how many persons did I invite? How many persons registered through my invitation? The second week, you are tracking yourself. The third week, you are tracking yourself. The fourth week, you are tracking yourself. You know that at the end of the 30 days, you must be able to produce 10 new persons registered into your team. One of the things that helped me so well in this business is that within the first 5 days of my business, I and my team, we recruited about 60 persons. You didn't hear me. I said, my first 5 to 7 days of my business, I recruited over 60 persons. That is what helped me. It made me to have the foundation to earn 1,098,000. I always say it. I earned 1,098,000 within 4 weeks and 5 days. 1,098,000 within 4 weeks and 5 days. Why? When I joined the business, what I did first was I was able to pick some people, I called them, and I cast the vision. The vision was to earn 1 million naira in 3 months for them. And I told them that I myself personally, I want to earn 1 million in 1 month. And some of them said, oh, Oga, we'll join you. We must earn this in 1 month. About 4 people. And we sat down and we told ourselves, we are going to be on this business for the next 90 days and get it done. In 1 week, we organized seminars, we printed some flyers, we shared flyers, as in we shared in a mad way. 4 locations, we had seminars in 1 weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and cumulatively we signed up 60 persons. That's what I call the law of compressed activity. All this our one, small. Over time, you tire out. You will tire out. You need to put in your energy in the next 90 days and get results that will motivate you and let you know that this business pays. I always tell people, hey, don't be too proud of yourself. If you think you can quit this business, think twice. You can quit this business. Anyone can quit anything. I'm telling you the truth. Even the Bible made it very clear that hope deferred makes the heart sick. And the reason why a lot of people get sick with hope is a wonderful thing, is because you can keep being in hope and keep being in hope and not having anything. Faith is what gives you the result. What is faith? Action. Action. When there is no works, there is no action, there is no faith. So you can keep hoping to be successful in this business. You will not be successful until you start taking the right steps towards being successful. And the reason why I love the law of compressed activity is because it helps you to build an unwavering belief that the business can pay you. What I told myself was that if I cannot earn 1 million naira in 1 month in this business, then it's not worth my time. I'm sorry. That is the level at which I was operating at that time. I was already a millionaire before I joined the business. That is the reality. I already have business that was paying me in millions, even though I had some challenges then. That I lost some 7 million naira of my money, of my capital, of my business, doesn't mean that the personality that produced that business has gone. I still have that personality. And I told myself, if this business cannot give me 1 million naira in 1 month, then it's not worth my time. So I told myself, I'm going to give it all that it takes. And I was crazy with it. I was recruiting one-on-one, anywhere I am, in the park, in the bus. As I'm recruiting, I'm organizing seminars. I printed my own flyers. All these things, it is taking us 3 days to learn to present. 5 days. It took me only 2 days to teach my boys how to present. and we went to different locations, and then we are organizing seminars. All this learning small. 1 week, we are still learning how to present. 3 months, what are you learning in 3 months? Some of you here, if you're in school and there is and there's an exam you need to take, and the book comes out late, I've seen us read one full book in less than 2 days. How many of you have done that before? Just because you want to take an exam. Let me see wave your hand if you've done that before. Let me see wave your hand. Let me see wave your hand. Why were you able to read that book within 1 day? Why? Because there is an exam you don't want to fail. But let me give you a book right now and tell you to read this book. Trust me, some of you will not read that book after 3 months. You won't read the book after 3 months. That's what I'm talking about. All this, I was sluggish. I'm learning how to present. 3 months, you're learning how to present. You want me to be clapping for you. That's a show of the belief, or rather the desire you have to succeed in the business. It took me 2 days, 3 days to mentor my boys to start running seminars. What do you mean? We will go pay for venues, very good locations, pay for venues that are affordable, share the flyers. We got people that helped us share the flyers, collected contacts from the flyers, make the phone calls, and organize seminar, 3-day seminar in 4 locations. We signed up 60 human beings, 60 accounts drop. 60 accounts drop. 60, that was when I had 3 accounts. So I had by the time I did registrations and saw the money I was making, I said, geez, also, is it this thing that I don't have 7 accounts? I had to rush, made my account 7, did the 7, saw the way the money was coming. I had to borrow more money and made it 15 accounts so that I can now do the remaining. You know why I'm talking like this? See, let me tell us, all this our slow pattern of building the business. I want you to put in effort. Focus on this 90 days recruiting challenge to build your own belief. When you don't have a strong belief in the business, even you yourself, for you yourself, your team members cannot have such level of belief. Let's stop all this, our slow kind of learning. Put an end to it and tell yourself, I'm going to be a champion in this business. I'm going to be among the top in this business in the next 90 days. What is 30 people? You can recruit more than 30 persons in 90 days. I am telling you, it is more than 1,000% possible. Just quit thinking average. Ensure that every single month we have 120 persons witnessing our presentation. It's impossible not to have more than 10 persons being recruited in your team. Guess what? I'm about to close down the Millionaire School. When I'm done talking, the ball is in your court. Some of you will forget everything that we've discussed in this meeting and go about with your business just as if nothing happened, just as if you didn't listen to anything. But I pray that that will not be your portion or your case in Jesus' name, amen. I pray you put to work every single thing you've learned this morning. God bless you really good. I want us to make sure we invite people to our business presentation. I'm going to be having the presentation myself. I'll be handling that myself today at 8 p.m. Of course, you know, if I'm the one having the presentation, if it is 8 p.m. and there is no new person in the team, in the Zoom, I'll close the meeting. I will say it again. If it is 8 p.m. on the dot, I don't see you, my partners, and there is no new person for me to teach, I am sorry, I will close the meeting. So make sure that your partners, your invitees, gets to connect to the meeting early enough. 10 minutes to 8, I will open the Zoom room. Make sure they connect. Don't tell them to connect by 8 o'clock and start texting me that, sir, they are having issues with their network. Let that issue with network start by 7:50 and then correct it before 8 p.m. No lateness in my business presentation. Make sure they connect early. Let's have a nice time today at 8 p.m. God bless you. Do have a lovely day. I'll be uploading the video shortly afterwards. Bye-bye. Okay, for those of you asking for the link for the 8 p.m. meeting, it will be sent to our WhatsApp groups right now. Check your WhatsApp group. You're going to see that right now. The 8 p.m. meeting link and the banner. God bless you.